Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Random Conversations. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Noel.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm
feeling
happy.
good?
I'm happy to be here, happy to be doing this, happy to be speaking to
The people.
our people. Yeah.
Likewise. I'm happy to be speaking to the people. So a lot of stuff has happened this week. I want to start off with the mass shooting that happened in Midtown Manhattan at the NFL headquarters. We're both big NFL fans. When the story was unraveling, I was like, what is going on? And then I heard later in the news cycle that this man was targeting the NFL floor, which was the 5th floor, but he missed it. And I just found it quite, I don't know why people, when they want to kill themselves, they want to bring others with them.
Yeah. And in this case, he didn't even get to the people who he was targeting.
He
went to the wrong floor.
He went to the wrong floor.
Yeah.
And it's just mind-boggling to me how people think that way. But anywho, he said in a letter or a manifesto before he killed himself and killed 4 other people that he blames the NFL for his problems and centering it around CTE.
Yeah, because I think he suffered like a traumatic brain injury.
Yeah, because he had played high school football. So I don't understand why the NFL is at fault for his issues. It's not the league's fault that you developed this.
It's not the league's fault that he developed it. No. If he wants to blame somebody, he should look to maybe his parents for allowing him to play football.
Yeah.
And take those shots to the head. I mean, you play football, you take the risk. I mean, CTE only became
prevalent in that movie Concussion.
Yeah, with Will Smith. Yeah. So we really didn't have too much working knowledge about concussions outside of, you hit your head, you might see stars for a little bit, but you should be all right.
All right, yeah.
Now we know that those concussions can lead to violent outbursts and suicide. You see it in
Junior
Seau, Chris Benoit, and most recently this individual. Well, he's saying that, but he also stated in his manifesto that he wanted
his
to
brain
study
to
his
studied.
brain, right? So we'll be able to determine whether or not he had CTE, and that'll bring it back to the forefront of the social zeitgeist, and we could talk about it some more and see whether or not football is safe at any age to play. I know that they've been trying now to make it safer. I think they've been taking tackling away from the peewee kids.
Oh, really?
If I'm not mistaken. But I know that they're got
trying
those
to
big
bring
cradle caps.
Yeah, and they're trying to make flag football a thing. They're trying to make it as big as actual football. It would never be. No. They're trying their best, though. You got to give kudos to them for trying their best to make flag football a thing, but it will never equate to the NFL. Do you think with this certain tragedy that happened is going to take a hit to the NFL and its brand?
I think it's going to take a hit to the NFL and its brand.
Especially if he has CTE.
Yeah, because if parents start taking their kids out of little league and high school and college football, who the NFL is not going to continue to get the best talent. They're not going to continue to get a large influx of players, and with less players, the league is going to get diminished until it no longer exists. Now, do I think that it'll get to that point?
Probably honestly, in the next 50 years.
I honestly don't know. The NFL might look completely different in the next few years. I don't know. We might be watching robots playing football.
Oh God! You and these robots, cut it out.
AI is going to take over every part.
Nah,
of our
I'm
society.
not watching no robot tackle or a running back that's a robot.
It ain't going to be for us at that point. We aged out of that. That we're not going to be the demographic that they're trying to capture at that point.
They're going to try. Who they trying to capture? The young ones don't care about no robots.
Okay, you'll see.
The hell? Well, no, that don't make no sense, and that's stupid.
You sound like a boomer.
I'm not a boomer. That's one thing's for sure. Me and boomers, we're far apart. We're on opposite ends of the spectrum. But I just don't think watching robots with the ball. No, that's stupid. What I do think is soccer might become one of the biggest sports in America if a lot of people take their kids out of playing football. They're going to put them in soccer, which is much more safer. And that's going to probably be the sport of the country. It's going to be the new pastime. If this route keeps trending with the CTE. And I know the NFL is trying to make the game much safer, but how much safer can it get? Yeah. They're bound to get hit in the head. Mm-hmm. You could tell them don't tackle quarterbacks in the helmet because you're gonna get a 15-yard penalty or whatever, or you might get ejected. But what's that gonna do? Mm-hmm. It's not gonna do much.
And they got those big helmets now.
Yeah, no, I hate those doofy looking things.
Yeah, got the players looking like bobbleheads.
Yeah,
and nobody wants to wear it because they feel like they look stupid.
But if you want to keep your brain intact, you better wear it.
Yeah, I mean, what they say, you look good, you look good, you feel good, you play good, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't want anything getting in the way of you having your best game.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and maybe basketball might try to come up there and take it. Well, it was never the biggest sport in America.
I mean, but globally, basketball is the second most popular sport
behind soccer, football.
Right. So football will probably end up taking a backseat at some point. I don't think it's in the foreseeable future. And I'm a huge football fan. It's my favorite American football fan. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite sport. But with all this stuff happening, it's too frequent, and I feel like, me personally as a parent, I had wanted my sons to play football at one point in time, but after one incident after another, I don't think I need to see them play football. You could play something else. You could swim for all I care, but football, I'm not signing my kids up for that. Would you sign your son up for football?
No. And to me, football has the most gruesome injuries. Look at what happened to Damar Hamlin. He almost died. Yeah. I've never seen that in any other sport. Mm-hmm. They always tend to be the players that get carried out in stretchers more than any other sport that I've watched. You don't see that in baseball. You don't see that in basketball. You don't see that in soccer. I don't even think you see that in hockey.
Well, Shannon Sharp used to say it all the time. He was like, watching football is like watching car crashes.
Yeah.
Consecutively.
Yeah,
because
these are
running
big
full
men.
speed into each other, play after play after play. Your body's not built to do that, and I don't care. Yeah. And the padding isn't sufficient enough.
No.
Right? And the ground that they play on, the NFL really doesn't care, because if you look at the players, like all these knee injuries and stuff like that,
the turf.
They say that you could attribute a lot of that to the turf.
Yeah.
And they say that it would be safer for all involved if they transition to grass fields. Mm-hmm. Only certain teams in the league have grass fields.
But they're too worried about the upkeep.
Yeah, it might be too cheap.
Yeah.
These billionaires are too cheap to upkeep a grass field, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm like,
spend your money.
Yeah. How much money do you save on building these stadiums? They virtually pay almost no money for the stadiums. It's all taxpayer dollars that pays for the stadiums. I'm like, so what outside of the salaries and like the food that you provide to the players and stuff like that, how much money? I'll be curious to see how much money they actually spend per year on the business, because they make, like, I think with the TV deal, each owner makes about $300 million.
Oh yeah, they make bank
from TV owners. Revenue alone. That's not gate. That's not advertisers and all that stuff. That's just the TV revenue. So you bringing in that kind of money, and you mean to tell me that you can't maintain a grass field? That's just being cheap. That's ridiculous.
Because you got to maintain the grass field, then you got to think about the uniforms. They're always dirty. You got to wash. You got to pay a whole lot of people to upkeep everything, and it is being cheap. It's silly. Mm-hmm. It's being very cheap, and these owners make NFL teams are worth more than NBA teams. Mm-hmm. The most wealthiest NFL team is the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys is worth more than, I think they're the richest
sports franchise, period.
In the world.
And they got turf. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But I just hope that this incident that happened in Midtown doesn't affect the league, because, they are trying their best to make sure that this game is safe for the players, and it's good for us to watch, because I can't watch people getting carried out in stretchers because they can't move. You just sitting there watching, oh my God, I just want him to move so I know that he's alive or if he's okay. Yeah. But hopefully nothing really comes out of that.
I doubt it. Something got to come from that. I mean, it might not make headline news, but in the psychology of parents around the country, they're gonna remember things like Damar Hamlin and remember things like
it's like a domino effect.
Yeah, this individual coming into New York and doing the mass shooting. It was the biggest mass shooting in decades, so
in the city. Yeah, in the city.
In the city of New York, it was the biggest mass shooting in the city of New York in decades. So yeah, it's definitely going to have an effect. We're going to see the ramifications of that action and play out over time.
Listen, I'm a big NFL fan, so I really hope this doesn't make sure that happens when I'm old and gone. Not while I'm here, because NFL season's about to start in a couple of weeks.
The first preseason game
happened
was the
yesterday.
other day. Yeah.
I didn't even know.
So now we get the Hall of Fame game.
I didn't even know.
So we have football every Sunday until February.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. I can't wait. And then we get basketball too. I'm gonna be a busy girl. But anywho, speaking of parenting, so you had shared something with me about goodbye, gentle parenting, and hello, fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
So I guess the trend of gentle parenting is starting to wean off to like, didn't I tell you to sit your ass down? Don't make me grab you up in public. So I don't know, maybe not in public, maybe in your house. But I find go around and find out is a more effective way to discipline your children, because sometimes they be testing you.
Yeah,
my son tests me. I be like, go put that down, I have to repeat, if I have to repeat myself one more time. So effing around and finding out, I think, is a little bit more effective than just, oh honey, didn't I ask you to put that away? How many times do I have to talk to you? No, it's not effective in my eyes.
It's definitely not effective. And you're seeing it play out in the workforce with the younger Gen Zs coming in. They're saying they're harder to manage, they're harder to supervise, they're more sensitive. They've never been told no in their life. No. They've just been enabled. So when they get into the workforce and mommy and daddy's not there to protect you, they can't they can't survive.
Yeah.
So I definitely am a big proponent of fuck around and find out. But I'm afraid that people will take that to the extreme.
Saying child abuse?
Yeah.
Listen, I don't abuse my child.
No, I think the is a perfect balance of gentle parenting and fuck around and find out. They have to work their way to the point where it's okay, I done told you twice not to do that. You got but one more chance to do it, right? And then when they do it, they have to know that there's a consequence
to their actions.
Behind their actions. They have to know that, every action has a reaction. So I think it's important for them to learn that lesson when they're 5 and 6, as opposed to learning it at 35. You're a grown ass man or woman. You should know, when your supervisor tell you to do something, you're to do it. Yeah. Right. Or expect the appropriate repercussion and don't be surprised.
Like how we were raised.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm a pretty well-adjusted adult. And it was fuck around and find out 24/7.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm. You don't eat your food, all right. Mm-hmm. You're going to starve.
I feel like kids these days,
no alternatives.
They have less manners and whatnot. When I enter to this day, when I see people, I treat them with the appropriate respect. I tell them good morning, good afternoon, good night, thank you, you're welcome, bless you, all these things. It's like a reflex to me now, because when I was younger, if I didn't say it, you get popped, right? My kids, they don't have that as a reflex yet. I'm constantly having to tell them, you just came in someone's house.
Hello.
Say hello, greet them, good afternoon, good morning, auntie, uncle, hey, you know what I'm saying? Give them the appropriate, address them in an appropriate manner for their titles, right? And I think it's because we remember getting licks and whatnot. And so we kind of overcorrected to the point where these kids don't have those basic behaviors of being polite and showing manners. So I think it's good that society is kind of rolling it back a little bit and seeing the finer points and the benefits of fuck around and find out.
Yeah, it's not like we're trying to traumatize our children. We're just trying to show them the right way to live and to show respect. You mentioned how some of these new young adults are entering the workforce. Some of them are coming to job interviews with their parents. Some of them are coming to fill out, onboarding paperwork with their parents, and it's like,
which is ridiculous.
It's like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Like what are you doing here?
Your mom gonna come to work with you? Was your mom taking classes for you in college? It brings into question a lot of things. These parents,
they were like super coddled when they were children.
And that's the thing.
No life skills.
We like to look at the generation and blame the generation, but you have to blame the past generation because they raised this new generation. They raised them to be coddled and to be soft. It goes back to that previous conversation we had when I was saying that there is a place in society for bullying, and he was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Well, they need to build. You need to build a certain amount of callous."
I get it.
On you as a human being in order to survive in this world. Now, am I?
But
saying,
not excessive bullying.
Am I saying that it should become violent and whatnot? No, but there is a place for light bullying, like teasing and jokes and stuff like that, right? Because your kid has to learn. These children today have to learn how to deal with adversity.
Yeah.
And parents too much of the time trying to take the slings and arrows for their kids. And the truth of the matter is, the way the world works in a perfect world, you die before your kids. So you don't want to be in a situation where you pass away and they can't survive because the world is ready to take advantage of them.
Yeah.
And you ain't going to be there. You can't be there for every single interaction.
Yeah, so them learning how to deal with consequences for their actions is definitely going to help them in the long run. So that's what I'm trying to instill in my child. Like, all right, you sit over there and you do that. Watch, when you least expect it, something's going to happen. When you least expect it, something's going to be taken away since you want to play the fool.
Fuck around and find out. Try it. But don't be crazy with it. It's a last resort. You could do the gentle parenting. Try to talk to them.
I think you like start off like that.
You talk to them. You try to get them to see things your way. But ultimately, if they get to a point where it's just they're not listening, they have to know the consequence of that. I'm not saying you lock them in a dark closet for like 2 hours, solitary confinement, or you take the belt and you beat them red. No, it doesn't have to go to that extreme. But there has to be some consequence. You have to hold the line. You're the parent, not the friend. I feel like with our generation, we've become the friend in their eyes.
Yeah.
My son called me bro the other day. I was like, yo, I'm not your bro. I'm your father. Or my nephew, he tried to call me by my name. He said Noel. I said, whoa. I said, it's Uncle Noel. Don't get it twisted.
Don't mix it up.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we play around.
Because like you said, kids like to test, right? So you just gotta let them know in a stern way that that's unacceptable.
Yeah, it's just crazy how some of these kids, and you do it from young, because when they get to when they become teenagers, sometimes you can't talk to them.
It's too late.
You can't talk to them. And they're already set in their ways, and there's nothing you can do about it but kick them out of your house.
Especially if you're a single mom and you got a boy child.
Yo.
And he out of control.
Yep.
It's too late now.
You done lost him.
He ain't got no fear of you. He's the captain now. So
he's like, woman, you listen to me. So since it's random conversations, I'm totally switching gears here. So you have brought up a topic about how long an engagement should last. From the time a man goes down on one knee to the time the wife walks down the aisle. How long should that time period last? And I say there should be a max of 2 years. If nothing happens within 2 years and you go into year 3, I don't know what's that like. That's just a big red flag. That's a big ass question mark. Wow. That's my opinion. But I want to hear what you have to say, and then I'll share more of my opinion.
Okay. Well, I agree with you. I think 2 years is the appropriate amount of time, especially if you guys want to have an extravagant wedding. You're going to need time to save up for that, right? But there should be no reason why an engagement is lasting 5, 7, 10 years. I'm like, he probably gave you the ring to shut you up and to kick the can down the road. He's like, we'll have it's almost like he gave it to you in the same vein. He basically gave you a promise ring, you know?
But it's still not going to shut her up because she's going to be asking.
It'll shut her up for a little while. And then
for 2 years.
Yeah, and then she's going to start to see, there's no movement here, you know? And then the conversation starts again. So, and I think if a man is really serious about a woman, if he's identified her as the person that he's going to spend the rest of his life with, he's not going to take too long to get it done. Especially if she's not hearkening on having the big wedding. Ain't nothing to go.
If she don't want a big wedding, that should be a year.
Quick.
That should be a year.
A year or less.
Yeah, because you could either do City Hall and have like your little wedding, your little wedding group, and then have like a reception at a restaurant or at a house.
Or you could do Vegas.
Or you could do Vegas.
Make a trip out of it. And have a good time.
Have a good time just the both of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could do like a little small wedding, like 50 people. That's very cost effective. It shouldn't take thousands out of your bank account. But if you're waiting past 2 years, like into the 3-year mark, and you're saying because of financials, then you weren't ready to get married in the first place. Because once you meet a person and you know that that's your person, you should start saving from then.
Well,
only like for the ring and for the wedding.
I'm not a big proponent of spending extravagant amount of money on.
No, it depends. So you have to know what your partner wants, because mostly women want the big wedding.
Women want the big wedding, but I'm like, do you want the big wedding, or what do you want more?
Do you want the commitment?
You want to be married, or you want the big wedding?
They want
Let
both.
me know, because then
why can't she have both?
No, I mean, in some cases she can, but in some cases she can't.
Too?
I think like how much is the average wedding? I want to say it's like $40,000.
Oh, we'll see.
And if I'm spending $40,000 on a wedding and we eventually want to move out of our apartment and move into a house, I'm like, how cost effective is that? We could get a house. We could spend that money put that money towards a sizable down payment on a house. It don't make sense to me to spend that kind of money.
According to AI overview on Google, it's around $33,000.
Yeah, $33,000 for a wedding, for a party for other people.
It's their memories.
Exactly, because
do you remember her wedding?
All you're gonna remember from that day is people pulling you in 100 different directions to take pictures. Right? You're not even gonna really enjoy the wedding itself. Everyone else is gonna enjoy it. They're like, they're gonna tell you whether the food was great or not. They're gonna tell you whether the DJ was popping or not.
They might talk shit about your wedding behind your back.
Right? They'll talk about your dress, your choice of
attire,
wardrobe. Right?
The colors, the flowers, everything.
The only thing, and the thing is, I had a small wedding. I elected to just do a small ceremony in a church, right? So we had our family there, and we did a small ceremony in the church. We didn't pay for a reception afterwards. We didn't even put a registry or anything like that, because I'm like, I'm not gonna ask somebody to give me something, and I'm not having a party where they could come and eat and all that stuff. Yeah. I felt like it was selfish. But people gave anyway. They gave monetary gifts anyway, which was really nice. So when I looked at my wedding, I think my wedding only cost, and this is with tux and venue and dress, maybe like less than $2,000.
What?
Yeah. Maybe less than $2,000. Like,
no.
Maybe less than $2,000, right?
Wow.
But we got back
more.
like think of it. It was like a short-term investment, because what we got back on that was ridiculous.
The return on investment,
and we didn't ask for anything.
Was crazy.
That was all just love showered on us, right? And so, and it was funny because for the longest time, when we had gotten engaged about 1.5 years before we got married. And one of the major holdups was, she wanted a big wedding. I wanted a small wedding because I knew we were looking for a house, and she wouldn't budge on that. And then when I finally caved, I was like, you know what? Whatever. You want to do that? Let's throw the money away. I don't care, right? I was like, but when you get frustrated living in this apartment, I'm gonna in my back of my mind, I'm gonna hit you with that. I told you so.
Oh, God.
But she came back around to the small wedding, and as soon as she came around to the small wedding, it was done. And it was
That's
the
why
best
I was
decision.
saying that you got to know what your partner wants.
It was the best decision because, and I tell you, with women sometimes they just gotta come. They gotta come to the conclusion on their own, because for months and months and months I have been trying to tell her all the pros to doing something small, and she was like, no, I want the big wedding. No, I want the big wedding. And then I don't know who she spoke to. I don't know what video she saw. I don't know if she fell, tripped, hit her head or something like that. But all of a sudden the next day, she was like singing a different tune. Like, you know what? I think a smaller wedding would be better. I was like, yeah, I think so too. You know, you got to make them feel like it's their idea.
Oh God. Women, most women want the big wedding, and they start planning even before they meet their future husband. And they start saving. So once you get to that conclusion, all right, she wants the big wedding. I like in your situation it's different, but in certain men are like, let me just give her what she wants. Got to start saving up the money, because once year 3 comes and no weddings happen, and you're like, okay, what's going on? Time's a ticking.
I would tell her, I'm like, you want this big extravagant wedding, it ain't gonna pay for itself. All right, so don't be rushing me. Don't be rushing me. I mean, we could get married tomorrow. We could do that. I'm like, what you want? You want to get married or you want the big wedding? If you want the big wedding, get up off me. Give me some space.
No, well, cut it out.
Give me some space.
Cut it out.
I don't understand. Y'all want the big wedding, and then you want to pressure the man to speed up his timetable. I'm like, it don't work. Money don't come like that. What's the old saying? I know y'all heard it.
That's why
times.
I said you start saving for it.
Money,
and it's not
money,
just
money don't grow on trees.
The money is coming not from you directly by yourself.
Who's
your
coming
family's also contributing.
No,
your family's not contributing.
Hey, if I'm getting married, I'm not going to my mom and dad talking about.
I'm pretty sure your parents would have been like, "Here's some money."
But that's not me.
That's not you.
I don't ask my parents.
But you're still getting money from them, though.
I don't ask my parents for anything but to watch my kids when I go out. But I'm not asking for no monetary nothing. If I'm getting married, that's a choice that I made. I shouldn't be putting
parents are putting a pretty penny. They're contributing a lot from both sides. So it's not just you. Yeah, you save your money. Yeah, she saved her money. No. But the parents are also contributing to the wedding.
In my eyes, your parents are not obligated to.
They're not obligated, but they're going to.
They're not obligated.
They're going to.
There's not a lot of parents that
because some of them just want to do that.
There's not a lot of parents that could contribute to that either. So you got to understand too. Not only your partners. You got to not only understand your partner's situation.
I'm gonna ask my partner. So if we were to get married, is your parents gonna help contribute? Yes or no?
And if you say no, then what?
No.
Jesus Christ. No? That's crazy.
No, I'm just joking. I don't want nobody slaughtering me.
Get in them comments, y'all.
No, I don't want anybody slaughtering me. Yeah, it's all right. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I don't care if I have a big wedding or a small wedding, to be honest with you. It could be either or. I could be easily swayed either way. I just know the type of dress I want. That's all.
Look, I hope y'all ladies ain't pressuring your man's for this big extravagant wedding if he ain't got it like that. Now, you know what? I can't sit here and lie.
So they gotta pick the man that got it.
I can't.
So they could get their wedding.
A lot of y'all want to pick the man that got it like that, but that's neither here nor there. We about to go off into a different stratosphere. But what I want to say is, you know, stop pressuring your man to pay for this big extravagant wedding if you know he ain't got it like that. You know, let's be sensible. And I'm not someone that doesn't see some of the pros. I see the appeal of a big wedding because I've been to a few big weddings, and sometimes I sat there as a visitor after I got married, and I'm like, you know, I'm glad I got married the way that I did, but there's something to be said about, you know, being celebrated in that way. When you come in and everybody's just like fawning over you and all that stuff. It's a nice feeling. You feel, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, sometimes I feel I wish I had that, but then, you know, I think about the money.
Bigger picture.
Yeah, you got to think about the bigger picture. Sometimes you got to sacrifice, you know, small stuff for big gains.
It's a case-by-case basis. As a woman, you might want the big wedding, but you got to think about the person you're getting involved with If love trumps your big wedding, then you're going to probably settle for what is within the budget.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly.
But you should do the best
should be
you can.
The main driver.
Yeah, but you should do the best you can to make sure that the wedding is deemed suitable in your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all. That's what should matter.
But I say, but back to the original question, 2 years I think is an appropriate time appropriate amount of time to go from engaged to married. I feel like if a man is taking 7 years
that means
or whatever, he don't really want to get married.
Yeah.
And and you're wasting your time. After year 3 or whatever, you should be having conversations saying, where are we on this? Yeah. Do you still want to get married? And things of that nature. And I think that in some situations, the women, they understand that they kind of see what's happening. Mm-hmm. They kind of know that.
They see the writing on the wall. They're not stupid.
But they're afraid to ask the question because, when you ask the question, you get the answer. You might not like the answer, right? But you ask the question. So if you're afraid, sometimes you just be quiet.
I don't understand why men like to waste women's time.
I don't even
That's
think...
the thing.
They
waste women's time because you putting this ring on this lady's finger, you're just going about life lackadaisical, knowing that this girl wants to get married to you. What do you want? Do you want this woman? Do you want this relationship? If not, let her go.
But you know what? It might not even be about if I want the woman or not. It might be that they don't believe in the institution of marriage. Right?
Well, if you don't, you have to let it go.
Well, they'd be like, I want to be with you forever. I just don't need a piece of paper to show to anybody to say that
it's
you're
a waste of time.
I'm yours.
Waste of time.
So
it shouldn't have got past the early stages if that's the thing. Because that's certain things that you have to talk about before you decide to get together.
And that's on the woman, right? If marriage is big on your to-do list,
it's big on both of them.
Right.
It's big on both of them.
If marriage is big,
because if you guys are oil and water, it should not mix.
Whoever it is. If marriage is big on your to-do list, that should be a conversation had within
early.
The first year of y'all being together. That should be, especially if
you
have a certain age.
When the man proposes to her, she's gonna feel like, oh, he must have had a change of heart. Knowing damn, like in his soul, he never really changed his beliefs.
No, because you ask what's his stance on it. If he says he doesn't want to get married, now you make a decision whether or not you want to stay in the situation. You're not forcing him to do anything. So if he comes to you later on and proposes to you, he might have just said
that's a waste of money and time.
Because I know me personally, I wasn't against marriage, but I never dreamed of being married, right? I dreamed of being a pro football player, an actor, and all of these other things, but I never dreamt of getting married, right? But then I met someone who I felt was worthy of it, right? Who made me want to do it, who made me consider it for the first time because I had never considered it with anyone else, right? So I said to myself, I was like, I'm not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm not going anywhere. I want her to stay here with me forever. So what's stopping me? I started to realize that my hangups were not really hangups, right? I was just waiting for the right person to come along that made marriage seem like a real possibility. Because there's a lot. You look on your social media, you scroll up and down. There's a lot of women that kind of make men apprehensive about marriage. There's a lot of situations that make men apprehensive about marriage.
Like what?
Like. Look at the whole Shannon Sharp situation where the
OnlyFans girl.
But it just speaks to, but she's
nobody gonna wipe her.
But she's not the only woman that's gotten a man for his money. And the thing that makes me laugh is
Shannon did not take that lady seriously. Let's be real.
The thing that makes me laugh is that men with no money be worried about their money. I'm like, dude, you got 50 cents in the bank and you worried about her taking a quarter? Like, come on, man. Like let's be real about our situation too. But I can see why men would be apprehensive because
I feel like
they want to protect what they have.
You can't use that specific scenario because
I'm just saying
Shannon didn't take that lady seriously. He only used her as his little...
Well, look at Jeff Bezos. He was married. He divorced his wife, and now she's like the richest, if not one of the richest women in the world people, regardless of woman, she's one of the richest people in the world, right? She didn't build Amazon from the ground up. He did, but they got divorced.
Well, look at he believes in the institution of marriage because he just got married the other day.
Yeah, but we don't know the we don't know the stipulations around their marriage.
Listen,
we don't know if there was a prenup signed to protect his money.
Apprehensive to nothing. He just got remarried.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like I said, we don't know the stipulations and the situation surrounding their marriage. I'm pretty sure he's protected.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean he didn't want to get married again because clearly he did. No, he found love somewhere else.
I know. I'm not refuting that fact, but I'm just saying that men look at situations like that, and some men are so guarded about their material possessions that they don't want to lose it, and so they'd rather just be boyfriend and girlfriend with somebody until death do them part. But my thing is, you also need to learn the laws in your state, because if you cohabitate with somebody for a certain amount of years, you become common law married. So it's like you dodging marriage like the plague. Meanwhile, you've been living with this woman for like 10 years, and
I used to believe
she has the same rights.
Yeah, I used to believe in common law. I didn't want to get married for years. I still toggle back and forth with getting married. It's like if I get married, it's okay. If I don't, it's okay. Like it's back and forth with me.
She don't want to live with nobody.
I don't. I do. Don't say that. I do want to live with somebody.
I do.
No, I do want to live with somebody, but they just can't be there all the time. I have my own little, yeah. Yeah,
she has a strange...
They can have the east wing, I have the west wing. Mm-hmm. And I'll see you when I see you.
She want that Will Jada love.
Except for anyway.
Yes, except for entanglements.
No August Alcinas. But yeah, 2 years. We could agree on that.
Yeah, 2 years for sure. That's more than enough time.
Yeah.
If you're serious.
Yeah. For all those people who want to get married. Majority of my friends want to get married. Actually, all of them. They love the union and all that stuff. I used to be the oddball.
They love love.
Yeah, they love love. I used to be the oddball. They kind of sway me, but I go in and out sometimes. So I had shared this Instagram reel. I think you watched it. I'm not sure if you saw it. But there's this man that was saying that if women want to stay in relationships or find men, they should dumb themselves down. Like intelligent women, I guess, what's that word I'm looking for? They're scared. They're intimidated. They're intimidated of a woman that has a mind of her own and is intelligent. So his advice to women was just dumb it down a little so your man could feel like he's alpha or the superior one in the relationship. I find that stupid. Well, and anybody who agrees with what he's saying, I don't know about you.
I mean, well, when I was breaking down what he said, right?
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah. Oh. And I was trying to see it from his perspective. And from what I gather, he's just basically saying that the more intelligent, he's basically said the more intelligent you are, the more likely you're going to be single and die alone. And he said because the more intelligent you are, the more difficult it would be for a man to please you. And he's basically saying that there's a lot of stupid people out there. He kind of insulted like society's intelligence at large. He's like, there's a lot of dumb people out there, and you know
you're bound to meet dumb men. Right. So guess what? You gotta be dumb too. You become
harder to please the more intelligent you are. Was basically what he was saying, and you become a little bit more difficult, right? But to dim your light to accommodate somebody else, I don't prescribe
Never
to
dim
that,
your light.
Right?
Never.
And I don't think that you could fully fall in love with somebody that you would have to dim your light, right? Mm-hmm. If I have to mute myself for you to be alpha, most women are looking for a man that's worthy of leading them. Most women want men
that are alphas.
Right. So how much respect would you have for a man if you're knowingly muting yourself?
You're not gonna have respect,
right? Because
and she gonna play you like a fiddle.
Mm-hmm. she's not gonna have no respect for you.
Yeah,
because she's because in her mind she's allowing you,
yeah,
to lead. She's permitting it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't earn it. You didn't earn that right to lead the household, right? And ultimately, I don't think, at least I can only speak for me. I wasn't looking for a dummy, right? I personally think that, I personally, I like to be challenged, right? I want to be able to have engaging conversations with the person that I'm with. I don't want to be ever in a situation where we're on a date and we just looking at each other's eyes and we have nothing to say to each other, or I care not for anything that comes out of her mouth because I deem whatever comes out of her mouth to be utter nonsense, right? That doesn't seem like a relationship to me, right? If we're supposed to be partners and friends and all of that stuff, I'm not friends with any dummies, right? If anything, my friends are friends with dummies because I'm the dumbest one in the group. but
why would you say that?
No, because my father always said,
"Oh, you got to surround yourself with people smarter than you."
With people smarter than you, right? And I think I've done that, not on purpose, but it just happened that way. I feel like everybody I know is just so smart, right? And I'm just like a sponge trying to soak things up, right? And I want that from my partner as well. You around me 24/7. I want you to challenge me mentally, to keep me sharp, right? And I also think that intelligence is hereditary. So if I'm laying with you, I don't want no stupid kids. You know what I'm saying? I want and some of that fire that's in her is gonna be in my kids. And you need a little bit of fire in order to survive in this world, right? I don't want to have no pushover kids, right? So I've never been afraid of a woman with a mind of her own. And an intelligent woman at that. I sought it out, right? So that's where I stand on that. Would you ever mute yourself to accommodate a man, to make a man feel good?
No, and I don't.
But let me ask you this: could you be with a man that was of a lesser intelligence that you deem to be
no,
lesser intelligence than you?
If I can't talk to you and have intellectual conversations with you or mentally stimulating conversations with you,
Mm-hmm. So what if you could have the mentally stimulating conversations? He was good looking and all that stuff, but he only made $50,000.
Why you always got to bring money into this? Oh my God! Stop it!
I'm just asking.
I might.
You might.
Yeah.
Maybe, possibly.
Because there's potential there. The thing is, I'm not trying to build you up. I got to see that you could do it for yourself.
She want a ready-made.
I never said I wanted a ready-made.
You ain't trying to build. You ain't trying to. Are you trying to?
I could be there. I could be there.
Are you trying to build with him? That's what I'm saying.
Trying to build with him.
Are you trying to build with him? Do you know what that means?
I know what that means.
So tell me what it means.
Meaning, you have to help him out. You have to help him out. You have to be there.
You can help him out, but also just being there while he's climbing is what I'm saying. So he's not reached his full potential yet, right? But he's still climbing.
I could watch from the bleachers. No, like I could be in your corner, but you can't fully rely on me to get to where you need to go.
I'm not saying that he's relying on you, and that's the thing. I think a lot of women are taking it the wrong way. He's not asking you to sit in the class with him. He's not asking you to
as long as he's not okay, then that's fine.
He's not asking you to work his overtime.
If you consider that building, then I guess I will build.
Right, like you just be.
But you're not gonna. I'm not gonna have you use me.
Yeah, just be the support.
Because a lot of them use the women that they're dealing with because they know she's of a higher salary bracket than they are. Some of them tend to use women. I'm not generalizing all men. That's not what I'm doing.
I'm not saying that a man is trying to better himself, and so he says he wants to go to college. So
and then I have to pay.
You have to finance his tuition.
No,
I'm not saying that. You could if you want to. That's every person's individual choice. But I'm not saying that that's what you do. My version of being around a man who's not a ready-made, who hasn't achieved his full potential yet. My idea of that is, we're dating. You're just there for emotional support and all of that stuff. You know, we're still together. We can still go out on dates and all that stuff, but you build him up, right? But not monetarily,
Okay.
right?
I could dig that.
Like if he got to study, you help him. Like, oh, let me ask you some questions. Let me drill you on this, babe. Oh, you got to give a presentation. Why don't you present it to me? Let me give you some pointers, babe.
Then I could dig that.
Right? Like that, but that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with financing him and you know, basically building him like a Build-A-Bear and to make him what you want him to be. And then all of a sudden he turns around, and because your fear is that when you do that, he's gonna turn around and leave you, and all that time and money that you invested in him will be for nothing, right? Mm-hmm. No, I'm not saying to do that. Some women do that, but like I said, every action you take is a reaction. You can mitigate risk, but you can't eliminate risk in anything you try to do in life, right? So to try to walk into the dating scene and try to eliminate risk is just not realistic. You got to take risks sometimes. And it's okay to take risks.
It's not about eliminating risks, it's protecting your peace as well.
You protect your peace. And like I said, watch a man's actions, listen to his words.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you who he is.
And then the first sign of trouble, run.
Not the first sign. You have discussions. You need to find out what he meant by what he said, or why he did what he did, you know. And if they're gonna play games, you know, you're gonna find that out really quickly.
Because a lot of people have.
Right. But if you allow shit to fester, if you allow things to go unchecked, that's on you. That's not on him. That's on you.
I guess you could go by the rule of 3 strikes. You have 3 times to keep doing the same thing that I done talked to you about. And the 3rd strike, that's it.
I think that's fair. You gave them multiple chances.
Yeah.
You told them what you will and will not take.
And then
they have an opportunity to correct it or to keep doing what they're doing.
They're not listening.
Fuck around and find out.
Exactly. I was about to bring it back to parenting and treat it like your children.
Yeah.
Your children get 3 strikes, the man you're dealing with. Not saying that, you know, you treat them like a child, but you use that same type of mindset. 3 strikes, you're done. Because I'm not going to keep repeating myself and going through the same things over and over.
And that's why the F around and find out method is so important for the kids, because they'll understand from a young age that their actions have consequences.
Yeah.
You keep playing around, you're going to find out.
Especially with women, because women leave the relationship mentally before they do it physically.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you before they shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, all right, that's it. And on that note, that's it. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Random Conversations. Mm-hmm. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Noel.
And we'll see you next week.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
We on TikTok. We on YouTube. We on Instagram. Like, subscribe, comment. Follow.
Do all that good stuff.
Do all that good stuff. We appreciate y'all.